Thank you.
Well, families are rapidly having to adjust to being around each other all day, every day as people stay home. Parenting is tough at the best of times and it's even more challenging during a pandemic. For more on this, I'm joined by Dr. Georgie Fleming, who's a clinical psychologist at the University of New South Wales. Dr. Fleming, firstly, as a psychologist, what was your reaction to the news that families were going to be spending a lot more time together to the exclusion of almost all others?
Yeah, my first thought, Gemma, was, my gosh, what about the parents? What are they going to do? Because parenting, like you said, is hard at the best of times when you have a well-behaved kid. Add to that when you're parenting for more time and you're not only parenting, you're teaching, and all of your self-care stuff has gone out the window. You can't go to the gym, you can't go out with friends for dinner. All of that sort of makes for a melting pot of potential disaster. So that was definitely my first thought when I heard about the school closures.
And what can you see go horribly wrong in these scenarios?
I think there's just opportunity for more conflict. More time together means more opportunities for things like non-compliance. Siblings are going to be together more, which means more opportunity for physical aggression, verbal aggression, but also emotions are high at the moment. So frustration tolerances are probably lower, less patient, more stress, more anxiety, and all of that together, those sort of emotions can really affect how we behave, which includes our parenting behaviours. So parenting is likely to become less effective at a time like this.
You've given some pointers on how to not only get through it, but also to make it enjoyable. Firstly, special play, which is child-led. Tell us about that.
So special play is really a particular type of playtime. It's not like a normal play. So special play is one-on-one. It's always with one caregiver and the child. Like you said, it's child-led, so the child's in control. It's really the parent following the child's lead in the play. And special play is powerful for a couple of reasons, but the main thing, particularly in the context that we're in now, is that it can help maintain the parent-child relationship. Kids can be hard to like sometimes. You know, you love them and you would do anything for them, but at a time like this, it's almost guaranteed that there's going to be strain in that parent-child relationship. So by doing 5 minutes of that really rich, high-quality play with your young kid per day, it's 5 minutes of reminders of all the great things about your kid, which can really help maintain your positive feelings, that affection, that love, that squishiness that you feel towards your kid on a good day.
And you also talk about praise, also rewards and consequences. And I suppose these are quite different if you've got small children versus teenagers.
Definitely, there's going to be those developmental differences, but I think the principles stay the same irrespective of the age of your kid, or even, you know, up until adulthood as well. The idea being that if a particular behaviour, so you do something and that's followed by a good outcome, chances are in future that that behaviour is going to become more frequent. And the same thing when you use consequences, but in reverse, it'll become less frequent. So that's a good principle to operate on. And particularly at a time like this, when those tensions will be higher and you will be less patient, I think parents going out of their way to catch the good behaviours, so to speak, to notice when things are going right, and to give their kids attention for that. That's, emotionally rich through praising, through rewarding, but making sure it's specific is a big take home. So always linking a praise or a reward to a specific thing. And that's the difference between saying you did a really good job today, you were a really good girl today, and the difference between that and saying you did such a great job of ticking off all of your academic jobs today, or you did such a good job of playing by yourself when I had to take that work call. So really linking it to the specific behaviours, because that way you're teaching. And by doing that, you're increasing the likelihood that those behaviours will happen again in future.
And this is the uncharted waters for most. What do you think will be the main positive to come from this?
Well, the main positive to come from it, I think you are spending more time together, which has all of that potential for more conflict. But it also has all of the potential for more hang times. You'll be able to potentially have the time, say you take out the commute. That's an hour a day that parents have extra, if you're sort of strict around keeping your own office hours and can fit everything that you're expected to do in the day, that means an hour of extra, potentially extra time with your kid, more movie times. You'll have to be at home doing things like craft, and all of those things, all of those activities have the capacity to strengthen relationships and give you insight into all of the great things about your kid, but also vice versa. They can see all the great things about you as a parent, that you're fun and you're creative and you like hanging out with them. So I think that's a potential positive that I'm really focusing on at a time like this.
Dr. Georgie Fleming from the University of New South Wales. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Let's get the sports now with Jared Coote. And Jared,